Hey, this is Melissa Bryan from Lodestar Solutions, and today we're going to be talking about IBM Cognos Workspace Advanced. As a Cognos BI user, have you ever been confused about which studio you should use and when? Do I use Query Studio, Analysis Studio, or Report Studio? And what's with the deal with having to identify which data package I need, whether it's relational or multidimensional? Does it matter? Should it matter? I just need to be able to get the information I need when it's being asked of me. This is a common frustration of many Cognos users, and equally as frustrating for those charged with the duty in your organization to train on these various tools. IBM has realized that navigating between various studios is time-consuming and ineffective. Although Cognos applications are developed to be intuitive, training and learning multiple interfaces requires additional time and resources. To resolve these issues and frustrations, IBM created Cognos Workspace Advanced and added more to the user experience. As Workspace Advanced has matured, the necessity to maintain 3 studios is being greatly diminished. Now, in one application, users can quickly create ad hoc queries, analyze data, and create formatted reports without having to be concerned with learning 3 different interfaces or determining if the data needed is being presented in a relational package or a multidimensional cube-based package. IBM is eliminating the multi-studio confusion and maintenance by sunsetting Query and Analysis Studio. Announced in October 2014, version 10.2.2 will be the last version to have Query and Analysis Studio in it. In the next release, both of these studios will be deprecated, and all further development enhancements will be in Workspace Advanced. By focusing their resources on a single studio, they can address customers' requirements with greater efficiencies. However, those of you who are still on 10.2.2 will still be supported until October 2018. Okay, now I know what everybody's burning question is. What's going to happen to all my old Query Studio and Analysis Studio reports? Now, I wish I could tell you that they were 100% compatible and that they were just going to automatically work and open perfectly and beautifully in Workspace Advanced, but unfortunately the truth is that they will open in Workspace Advanced, but you're going to lose some of your functionality. So in Analysis Studio, you have that whole entire beautiful way of slicing and dicing your multidimensional data, your cube data. When it comes over into Workspace Advanced, it does render the members that you've chosen or the data items that you've chosen, but you lose that drill down, drill up and down functionality. There is products though that help you. So if you have a lot of users who are currently developing in Analysis Studio or in Query Studio and they have custom sets, Modio has a beautiful product called Modio CI. Not only helps you with version control and other things in your Cognos environment, but will also help you migrate your Query and Analysis Studio reports into Workspace Advanced. And they would be more than happy to give you a free demonstration of how that works and how Modio CI can benefit not only your administrator, but moving between environments from an end user standpoint. And so for those of you who are watching this video during our user group, after the user group, we'll send you a link to this IBM blog that references the announcement and answers quite a few of your questions. If you have questions beyond that, please feel free to reach out to one of us here at Lodestar Solutions. And then for those of you who are watching this via our YouTube after the user group, the link will be posted below this video. And again, if you have any additional questions, please reach out to us. As we've already discussed, Workspace Advanced is a single application where business users can create ad hoc queries and analyze data on the fly. It allows business users to create reusable, formatted reports in an intuitive and a rich interface. The benefits include improved business agility through timely access and richer insights into information, greater user satisfaction through self-improved self-service, and lower IT costs by offloading information requests while maintaining proper IT governance. Having trained personally hundreds of Cognos users and people on other BI platforms, I can truly attest that learning to maneuver through and master Cognos Workspace Advanced takes less than an intermediate skill set. Query and Analysis Studio require very low skill sets to master. However, when users outgrow these capabilities of these two studios and try to make that leap to Report Studio, they often find the distance to be too great. Think of that Excel user. They can reference cells, perform VLOOKUPs, and are even at a whiz at pivot tables. But when it comes to creating macros, forget it. The Report Studio functions available in Workspace Advanced are a perfect stepping stone for those Cognos users who just want more advanced calculations, but just don't have the aptitude or need to learn a professional reporting application like Report Studio. Like some of the basic functions users will enjoy include, calculated members and measures based upon tuples, and creating sets in order to determine top and bottom members. Many organizations don't realize that in July of 2015, IBM supersized your Cognos BI licensing structure. The supersized structure was rolled out to simplify licensing. Since it would not be legal or ethical to take away functionality, the new license roles now have more rights and functionality. On the left side of the matrix are the old license roles, and their functionality is in green. On the right side are the new license roles, and in blue is the added functionality. The old BI Enhanced consumer is now an analytical user and now has legal rights to use Query, Analysis, Workspace Advanced, Cognos Insight, Report Studio, and Event Studio. And you can see that you used to have to be a BI business author or higher to be licensed to use Workspace Advanced. But now you only have to be an analytical user. This is what we mean by supersized. If you have more questions about what you get with your new supersized licensing, Lodestar offers a free service called What the Heck Do I Own?, where an IBM licensed specialist will pull your entitlements and tell you exactly what the heck do you own. Okay, now the main event, the reason why you guys are here. What does this baby look like and how does it work? All right, this is our Workspace Advanced user interface. I got to this just by going to the Cognos portal and launching it and selecting the data that I wanted to work with. And in this case, I've asked it to give me a list container, and I'm just going to create a simple list report to kind of demonstrate the drag and drop technology and some of the intuitive factors that are built into this product. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come on over here to my sales query. Most reports have some sort of time element, and in this case, we're going to make it very simple, and we're going to drop the years in it. As you can see, what it does, it automatically renders the data. So in some other products, what you have to do is you have to build the report, and it kind of gives you the structure, and then you hit the run button in order for it to actually generate and run the data behind it. But whereas in Workspace Advanced, it automatically generates the data as you build. You can shut that function off, but for your intermediate report writers, some of them really enjoy that. It helps them see the report as it's kind of unfolding before their eyes. So the next thing, just to keep this real simple, let's get some products and keep it high. So we'll go to product line, and just to give it a little more depth, we want that product line to be by retail country. And then we should probably have a couple measures in here. Let's see, what are some of our sales facts? So one of them, it's always good to have, is revenue. And one of the things I kind of like about, that I like about all of Cognos drag and drop technology is that, if I got it out of order, I can just drag it to where I want it. So I wanted quantity in front of revenue. So we can filter this down. Let's say I only want information for 2012. So create a filter. Let's tell it that we want a specific value. You could also tell it we wanted a range. And then here in Workspace Advanced, we have some ability to, when we rerun this report using the HTML, that we can do some automatic prompting. So we're going to say, yeah, let's do that, and let's do it off our parameter, our year parameter that we've created here. And click OK. Now, all of this report is 2012, so this is kind of redundant. So let's go ahead and just make this into a header. And let's group our product line. And let's filter down these. So if I say create another custom filter, and this time I only want to see Germany, Japan, Italy, Japan, and Canada. Sorry, I'm making this up as I go, folks. We could also tell it that we want to prompt for these values every time the report is ran. And we can click OK. And just to show that there's some intuitiveness built into the product, we can click our measures, and it has some automatic, simple arithmetic that we can run on the fly. So if we did quantity divided by revenue, it's kind of, and then we can format that as revenue per unit. Although that looks kind of low. Did I do my calculation right? Oh, maybe it should have been revenue divided by quantity. And so revenue, quantity, I clicked revenue first, and this time revenue divided by quantity. Move this over to the end. And we can see that it's put on some automatic summaries for us. Although summarizing as we can see, it's put on some automatic summaries for us that you can turn off that. You can also give this just a quick title. Oh, yay, spell check. Thank you. And so like I told you before, what we do, we can rerun this if we want to reprompt it. So let's say, you know what, I changed my mind. I really want this for Belgium, China, and Finland. Belgium, China, Finland. And let's do it for 2010 data. Click OK. Opens it up in another HTML window, but now we see we have it for 2010 and for our countries that we had just chosen. Close that out, and we can save that off. Okay, moving on to our next example, we're going to use a cube data. Do I want to save changes? No, that's all right. We're going to change our package. I want to work with some different data than I've been currently working with. How about and this time, you know what? I'm going to select a blank report because I'm just going to kind of show you how simple it is to kind of let's make a really simple little dashboard. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to want to section off my workspace by 3 areas. And then I'm going to go over to my toolbox where we have other containers that we can use and other objects to use in our report. And in this case, I am going to grab a cross tab and bring it into my lower section. And I'm going to come back to my source. And just to keep it real simple, I'm going to come down to time. And once again, I'm going to grab my years, bring it into the rows. And let's see, how about retailers? And let's do region in our columns. And get a couple measures, revenue, planned revenue. Oh, revenue, planned revenue. And I'm going to just nest those in next to my years. Now notice that since this is dimensional data and it has hierarchies in it, we have our member here underlined, which means that I can drill in this. So if I drill down from 2010, the next level down, of course, is quarter, and I can go down to quarter, down to the months, and then we can drill back up to where we want to be. And drill back up to 2010 and the rest of our years. Oh, what happened to our... Well, that's silly. Here we go. Bring our measures in. There we go. That looks much better. Okay, so we have a simple crosstab down here. And let's just make... How about... Highlight the whole entire crosstab, and let's make a chart based off this information. So not only do we want to see the information represented numerically, but we also want to see it in a picture. So by highlighting it and coming up to insert chart, it automatically knows to use this data in a chart. And so I've selected a simple bar chart that we can drag up into our quadrant here. And you know what, there's a lot of things going on here. I only need to see 1 year at a time. So we're gonna once again make this report so that we can prompt on it. So if I grab 2010, come up to my filter, create a custom filter, 2010, select prompt, click OK. And let's update chart from our crosstab to reflect those changes. There, that looks much better, a lot easier to read. Let's also do this as a pie chart. Once again, I'm going to come down to my properties, make sure that my whole entire crosstab is selected, and this time let's grab a pie chart. Just a very simple one. Oh, let's get fancy. Let's bevel and break out. Why not? Let's get crazy. Okay. So, you know, actually I want my little slices to be based on my region. That looks much better. Now I know based upon 2010 data that my Americas are kicking butt here, and that North Europe, well, they're smaller, so it might be more respectable for them to have less revenue. Now, of course, I can't compare anything to this. It just kind of lets me know Americas are kicking butt. So as you can see very quickly, I was able to create a cross tab, and from that create a bar chart and a pie. Even though it's not part of today's demonstration, let's go ahead and kind of look at Workspace and what happens here. So, I mean, since your licenses have been supersized, why not? So let's do save as. And let's just put in my personal folders, give it a new folder, and let's call it demo, and OK. And in my demo folder, we're going to also call this demo workspace advanced. Beautiful. Come back down, and now let's create a real workspace off our workspace really quickly. We're not going to do anything fancy, but because we're running short of time. But if I click create new, here's my workspace. I can see under my folders, and under my demo folder, I have my demo workspace advanced. And the neat thing about this is, even though in workspace advanced it was a single report, it became 3 single objects for me to use in my workspace dashboard. And you can just simply drag and drop those onto your workspace. It says, hey, you have a prompt built in. I said, great. I want 2012 to display. I can bring my pie chart in where I want it. And I can also do that with my bar chart. And so that concludes our demo for today. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. Otherwise, let's talk about next steps. Now that you know all about Workspace Advanced and you know all about IBM's plans for the future, what are your next steps? As I stated before, it might be a good idea to take us up on our offer just to look at what the heck do I own. In this presentation, not only do we pull your entitlements and make sure that they're absolutely correct, we also let you know, again, about all that new functionality that's been added to your supersized licensing. And then, since you're going to have to move your users over, you're going to have to think about doing some Workspace Advanced training. And at Lodestar, we offer several kinds. We do have private coaching, which is one-on-one. We have on-site instructor-led, where you can invite one of our Lodestar coaches on to lead one of the trainings. We have virtual instructor-led courses. And then we have public courses that are instructor-led, where you can go to an on-site facility and get the same training but meet members in other organizations and get their feedback as well. One final training tip before I go: the use of Camtasia to scale your training dollars and your resources is excellent. Camtasia is the program that I've used today to record today's session. It's incredibly easy to use, it's fast and simple to edit, and this way you can record your trainings and reuse them over and over again in order to get that scalability and cost-saving dollars for either people who just need a reminder, or people that you're bringing on board, or just the fact that you're rolling out a whole entire brand new studio for people to use. So thank you for your time today. I hope you found the information extremely useful and beneficial. Just to let you know again, Lodestar Solutions, we are a certified premier IBM partner. We do handle IBM sales, trade-ups, and sport renewals. We have certified consultants in BI, TM1, and SPSS training. We also have certified coaches in business analytics and executive coaching. And today's series is actually part of our business analytics team coaching. So if you'd like more information at that, please contact us at lodestarsolutions.com, and we look forward to seeing you at the next event. Thank you.